Shubhendu, can you explain the science to me? If the seeding has already happened, and say there's a wind movement later and the clouds come in, the favorable clouds that can actually make rainfall at a lower level come in a little later, will that require fresh seeding or this one will do?
I have no. I'm not a a cloud seeding expert because I think it's voodoo science when it comes to air seeding. Because right now, what you look at, what's been happening, like it's a spectacle. Like when right now, Delhi's air quality monitors, 50% of them are not functional. They're sprinkled with water. And what are you and I discussing in the entire country? As in, I've been on TV shows since 2 p.m. today. When the flight took off, that everyone is discussing this solution called cloud seeding, which is extremely unscientific. IIT Delhi has talked about it. That there's very little chance that if it might work, and if it works still with all the vulnerabilities and denominators that are there, if it works, it's only going to marginally clean the air in 1 square kilometer area for perhaps 24 to 48 hours. Reality is that Delhi's air quality, almost 159 days out of 365 days, is poor to very poor to severe. And what we have seen right now in the last 10 days at least, and you and I have had that discussion, that, imagine our monitors are not even working. We don't even know how polluted air is. Looking at cloud seeding as a solution of governance is making mockery of both air pollution and governance and the scientific
I take your
of the
point.
masses.
I take your point, Mr. Jha, to a certain degree. But my question is, if you saw the explainer that I was just, presenting to our viewers just a minute ago, we looked at other countries which have used cloud seeding. China, for example, is heavily invested in it and continues to use it. They're in fact expanding the program. Every time they have games or whatever, there is a consistent effort to bring in cloud seeding. UAE does it, US does it as well. So are you saying all these countries spending lakhs and, if not, hundreds and thousands of dollars on this are doing it to no return?
No, so I'll tell you, the story of Beijing is a very interesting one. Right now, of course, when we're discussing cloud seeding and Beijing and air pollution in the same breath, cloud seeding is the last thing that Beijing has perhaps done, and it does it for its events rather than for its normal days. Cloud seeding, right now, Beijing is a classic example of how, when there is political will, then you can actually clean your air. It was one of the most polluted capitals of the world till just 8-9 years ago. So what did they do? They actually invested money first in public transport. They looked at their entire coal thermal power plants, moved from outside the periphery of the immediate city.